good.
Oh, Cho, yeah.
Cho.
So
Against Hilda and Marcel, okay, I'm not really happy about this, but at the same time, they already have a good hero to go in the Moscow.
yeah, and probably lacked a bit more setup
Yeah, okay.
for the draft.
Do you want to go Gord here just to answer the front line of Omega, of Falcons?
Mingguin.
What's a good hero with the Hilda?
There's a
That is a lot.
Wow.
To answer the Moscow, obviously. All right, I like this. Is a Mingguin hero. I gotta say that
maybe a bit more towards how the Marcel and Hilda will work together first in the early stages of the game up against Falcons, and how they're going to interrupt the early game rotations that they plan to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of side quests that both teams would have to check out before they go ahead and compete towards that first major objective. I mean, Mingguin from the start is not going to be making some unnecessary plays, but Falcons are hoping that he gets to overextend before the start of this fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, not much activity happening going on.
yeah, I think you also look at how Omega is able to pilot this Marcel, because
Yep.
of all of the teams that I have seen with the Marcel, Omega really is one of those teams that did not have a good start with the Marcel, but eventually have figured it out with perks. Eventually showing us how they approach this hero, and then the Hilda coming up from James. We usually want to see him with setup heroes, but because of how good the Hilda will be up against the Suyo and eventually this Uranus, it's just a valid pickup. That's why I feel like both teams have good drafts in a way that they have different ways to approach the team fights, and they have different win conditions. It makes it so that it will now be dependent on execution for both teams.
Yeah, I feel like it's also going to be Omega's also going to be heavily dependent on the passive coming out from Mingguin in terms of these team fights, because the frontliners are going to be busy trying to disturb the scaling of Kyle, or maybe even just disturbing the way he gets objectives, like the major ones around the map. So it will heavily depend on how they will be approaching this first major team fight.
Okay, Omega now on to Flap though. Doesn't have his level 4 just yet. And the Falcons, despite that, will be the ones to burst down and start this entire objective fight. Kyle will take that turtle for the team. And so even with that attempt from Omega, Falcons don't seem to be bothered at all.
Yeah. I don't know. It felt like it was the wrong target from the start. It was an easy picking for Team Falcon.
And what really is good about what Falcons was able to achieve is that they took away the turtle from Omega, and they did it by fast clearing the bottom lane, helping Flap out clear James, which gave them the priority when it comes to controlling the turtle, and they were able to take it easily.
Yeah, I also feel like even from the first rotation we got to see from Kyle, there was extra attention towards Flap because the matchup and how they would definitely require his presence in the objective would really matter. But it's not like they also showed us that they needed Flap to be there. It was the attention that they bought through that rotation that really allowed them to win the objective. And so far, things have been going well for Falcons.
They are able to take out 2 green camps away from Ryzen, and this is really good for Falcons. You wouldn't feel it like right now, but the effects of the rotations coming up from both Ogwen as well as Kyle will be felt come the second turtle. You can see that Kyle will have a big advantage over Ryzen. It might even be that Omega will not be able to contest at all.
Yeah, that's an item or two. And in addition, Ogwen was there for insurance purposes, ready to sacrifice his life in case things go south. But smart Omega, that was daylight robbery coming out of Team Falcons. So now they're going to have to make a move to hopefully lower down this 700 gold lead to maybe some slight tenths. But both teams, as per usual, they're just playing it safe, you know, dishing out information. And even though there are bits of information overload coming out from Smart Omega, they haven't really maximized on that completely.
Yeah, the way Haji just is able to manage the mid all alone and is able to give so much control over the river is also such a huge thing for this early game we're seeing so far. Mingguin tends to need some extra help, but again, we did say that the latter portions of the game are the ones that really matter, especially for the Luyi when it comes to playmaking. So, okay, let's see what the plan is going to be for Falcons here. They use the Way of the Dragon onto James. There goes the Golden Hour from Perxiva as well, but Falcons can reset.
This is just another one of them advancing. Now Perxiva and Mingguin are going to be going back.
Oh,
And look at this.
There's no kick, but Omega are not gonna fight.
0 kills, but you feel the 100% aura of Falcons just because of how they dodged the golden hour, how they were able to poke James and just control the river off of that. No contention from Omega whatsoever.
Close call.
Oh, the damage was just too much. Now they're gonna use a diversion. Where will they go?
Just for farming. Super Marco gets a double lane priority. That's also because of the teleport coming out from Mingwin.
Wow, it's really no team fighting. It's just farming.
It's just them pressing the right buttons, being at the right place at the right time. But Flap might have been caught red-handed here, but he's a Uranus. Of course, he's going to be able to escape. So Team Falcons, the idea of suffocating Smart Omega is going into plan, and they've slowly built up that gold lead to make it 1,000.
And it's terrifying because they're the Moskov lineup. They have the Moskov. They can go for all these aggressive turret takes.
Oh no.
But at least Omega also have a response of their own.
Yeah, the lack of team fighting is really bad for Omega because they are playing the Harley. And their trade shenanigans will not happen up until the mid-game, I would say. They're not able to find farm for Ryzen, unfortunately.
Dude, they might have to force that one right
really
away.
have to force it.
So Ryzen's caught in a difficult position.
Okay. Okay.
Now that's a pickoff. That's a pickoff. Ryzen first blood, 6 minutes into the game, and it's gonna be Kyle of all people.
Okay, so again, Team Falcons have been pressing buttons well, not forcing. They're like pacifists over the first 5 minutes, and then Ryzen says, that's enough.
This is enough. But to be fair, I would say that was such a great map movement, in fact, coming up from Ryzen.
Yep.
Kyle did not expect that at all. He's casually walking into that bush.
Okay, now Omega might have a slight upper hand. That's a two-man knockup though coming in from Ogwen. The Blazing do it as a response as Ryzen secures the objective, and Ogwen getting punished right there with James ready to also provide support. Diversion play coming in from Smart Omega, but all they want is probably a push down bot.
Here we go, the fights are starting to be forced by Smart Omega now. They've erased that 1,000 gold lead of Team Falcons, and they want more.
Oh, flicker forced out from Haji. Flap here too, but Falcons are not gonna fight.
That was such a great reaction coming up from Omega. The fact that they activated Netsuke with just one item, by the way. So only has picked up the Demon Hunter sword. You do not expect that at all from Falcons, and I think that Omega designed it in a way that they can still recover, because typically when you call in your gold laner in a Moscow versus Cloud matchup, that lane will be pushed up, but they had the teleport coming from Mingwin to kind of stem the bleeding. Eventually they will take out the turret up top, I mean Falcons, but Omega are able to trade down the bottom. So in the past 2 minutes, it's a net positive for Omega.
Yeah, and just a chess match for both teams. Team Falcons leading the first 5 minutes by suffocating the rest of the jungle, and then Smart Omega now forcing a lot of these team fights and getting a net positive for Netsuke. The attack will continue. They're putting their sights on Flap.
Alright, Flap, as the Uranus might just survive this for just a bit. Way of the Dragon used on the James, but they get caught in the Golden R. Ogwin has to run away from this. Fortunately, doesn't get caught in the dispersion rotation. But that's the Golden R and the Way of the Dragon already used for both sides.
Dude, there's a bunch of close calls, but never really a major casualty to turn the tides around.
Now we might see a very good game between the two teams right now, because they're so methodical about it. Surely Omega has been winning the past few minutes of the game, but Falcons on their own are holding off. And Omega, you can see how, I guess the word that I say is sweaty this game is. Anybody cannot make any mistake. And so far, nobody has made any kind of blunder. Omega needs to keep this up for sure. And you will see later on how good of a clutch players Falcons will be because of their experience up against Omega. But we'll see.
Yeah, because so far now what we're seeing is just Omega badly wanting that barangay clearance.
That's right.
They're making it happen, and they're starting this Lord. Being zoned so well, James doing it all alone. It's only Haji and Flap in the vicinity. They get to use the Golden R on the Lord, but the Retry, it's not even a Retry. It's Mingwin who secures the last hit on the objective as Ogwen looks for the Way of the Dragon. It's going to be James captured by that. They might not have enough damage for them. Neski goes in. Ryzen finds Ogwen, and that's a disengage for both sides.
Dude, they you see that? Smart Omega wanted to go. Ogwin wasn't gonna let them. So you know what? Sure, let's fight it. Let's take him down.
I'll play you head-to-head collision up against Falcons because they know they have the golden hour. It's their get-out-of-jail-free card. And to be fair, Falcons touched that. Falcons are still very good when it comes to trading, but Omega are now waiting for the exchange.
Whoa, he was able to find Super Marco in the midst of all of that. Now that's a flicker down for the gold laner too.
Dude, this is not Monopoly, but it feels like Smart Omega have hit Trafalgar Square with how golden their performance has been.
Oh, Flap couldn't walk out of this. Penguin's been on a roll.
By the way, Netsky have reached Trinity. They want to push. Yeah, the defense will be there for Falcons, but the mid lane already pushed up. They might even get another turn because of this.
They're slowly building it up. The gold lead, the composure, the aura. Smart Omega from trailing 1,000 behind. They've managed to keep it close and within striking distance. The barangay is putting Team Falcons on a chokehold, giving them a taste of their own medicine.
This is why I was so excited to see the Marcel Luyi, but it's all the more because it's Mingwin and Perks using it. So you see how well they've been playing this mid duo since the beginning of this game. 0-4 kill score, unbelievable, but it's all been under Omega's control.
The moment that they snapped, they looked unstoppable. I'm not saying that Falcons are making any mistake here, to be fair, because they're playing well, but Omega is just outplaying them all the time.
Again, is it Flap targeted first? They do seem to have the damage, but they're being a bit more careful this time. Oh, speaking of damage, look at Netsky! He's just shredding Flap just like that.
Yeah, that's extra caution coming out from Team Falcons, but same could be said for Smart Omega. They were anticipating that Ogwin was going to come from the other side of that bot lane, and they don't want no problems with him because, again, they're 0-4. They're 3.5k. Just one major blunder, and it will go to Team Falcons' side, and they're not going to let that happen.
They're not. Oh, Ryzen!
Oh, they really want to go for Flap. Oh, the stun! Ogwin doesn't land that way of the dragon in the blazing duet. Omega going in all at once! Flap still survives, but that's a flicker from James, and Ryzen finishes off the kill on a killing spree right now. Kyle and Ogwin are nowhere to be found.
Caught red-handed.
God.
Ogwin, no kicks today, sir.
What a shutdown coming out from Omega. They're now up 6-0. They're playing so perfectly.
Oh my goodness, they're going in all at
Oh!
They fight Super Marco.
Okay,
and he somehow saves his team through that golden arm.
Dude, the damage has been done. Inhibitor taken down.
The breaks of the game. Falcons, like I said, they're not making a mistake. Ogwin, although you can say that that was quite a bit of a blunder, it's because Omega was prepared for it. Perxiba was in the right spot to counteract that play, and even the Spear of Destruction will be countered. Granted, Haji made a great play, copying the golden hour to save his teammate, but Omega, oh my goodness. The way that they're setting up their boxing in Falcons, punishing them, now they are leading by so much.
Bro, it feels like Netsky's manifestations of actually being the best team in MPL Philippines is starting to come into fruition. No notes whatsoever with how they're playing.
When we were writing this, we are calling him the Eng Engineer. The Eng Engineer.
Yeah.
And he's able to do it.
And you know what? You can't spell engineer without Eng anyway.
Exactly, but unfortunately, the English cowboy not.
Okay.
Let's call him the shaman, you know? Netsky the shaman.
Oh, conceal play from Perxiva. They're on to Flap first. Ogwin still yet to find a kick. They also have the Lord with them as they take down this bottom lane tier 3 first. No one from Omega still decides to go in for the engage, but you could already feel the damage even just from Mingwin. Netsky trying to go for Kyle, but Falcons are able to defend.
Yup, the damage has been done, but one thing that's good about Team Falcons is they have a Moskov on their squad. At least it's going to be able to help them in the late game. Here comes round 2.
Oh, the dash out.